This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. And from the mountaintop of the Garden State, it's Beer Baron. Filling in for Vinny Parisi. As we're streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network as the Devils take on the Calgary Flames tonight at the Saddledome. I think it's, how many Scotiabank arenas are there up in Canada? It seems like everyone's named Scotiabank or Bell or Rogers. And
yeah, very, very, yeah. It seems pretty normal, right?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how's it going over there? I don't know how you're feeling. I'm feeling a little beaten up from all this snow we've gotten over the weekend and shoveling ourselves out here. But, pretty excited to see the boys go out there into Calgary and do this little swing out in the west coast of Canada and hopefully get a dub. Some interesting lines here. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to discuss before we get into like the game notes and everything else about this game and what it's going to mean for the Devils. We're a get right game, if you will. Hopefully, what's so funny?
Game notes. Can I see your game notes? Your fake game notes that you displayed the last time?
You're not supposed to reveal the curtain. You're not supposed to.
Oh, they were just jokes. Were they fake? I thought they were real.
No, they were real. They were real. Very much real. Well, I'm looking at one of the lines. I guess we could just jump right into it. So Our fourth line tonight is going to be Glass centering Lenny and Grits. And I find it to be a very interesting fourth line because it's not the two guys on the wings are young. This is Lenny's first official game, as he was in the lineup. If I'm not mistaken, he took warm-ups in last game, but he did not get into the lineup last game, and so he is going to be in the fourth line with Gritsyuk and with Glass, and you got two guys that are very young, that are potential, big-time goal-scoring wings, and hopefully one, if not both, can prove their worth, and hopefully he takes this opportunity and he runs with it. That's something the Devils need. They need that extra spark of a guy that just comes into the lineup that you didn't have to go and trade for, that you didn't have to mortgage the future for, who steps in and plays a pretty solid game. It's harder to do on the fourth line. We all understand that because you're not going to get the same minutes as like a top line. More than likely not, finding yourself on the PK or the power play. So, we got first line. We got, Timo, Hughes, and Bratt. Second line with Plot, Heischer, and Mercer, which is not a bad. That line does have that chemistry. That second line. Then we have old Daddy with Cotter and Brown. So Dad is playing with Cotter and Brown on the third line, and then
Cotter's centering. Cotter's centering.
Cotter is centering that line, that third line, which is interesting.
I think he said this to Amanda Stein earlier today that he's been a center his entire, his entire hockey career till he got to Vegas, and that's where he moved to the wing. So he could possibly be a natural center. So I'm kind of interested to see how he plays that role for the Devils tonight.
And hopefully it maybe, once again, that gives him a little spark too. We would like to see the scoring on his half start to pick up like it was last year. Not to say he was lights out last year, but miles and miles and miles of difference between last year and this year. And listen, let's be 100% honest. Yeah, it's a far trip. You just played 2 nights ago. You had to fly all the way out to Calgary to play this game. This is a game, on paper, theoretically, you should win. Calgary just traded away Rasmus Anderson. This is not a team that should make you shake in your boots. But the Devils have a way of playing, downplaying opponents and it's not like there's a huge disparity in points between the two. I believe there's only about 5 points in between the two of them. But this is, to me, you look at it, and this is a game that the Devils should win. As long as Jacob Markstrom comes out and plays a solid game. Doesn't have to stand on his head. Doesn't have to be vintage Marty. Just has to go out there and play a solid game. If he lets in 2, that should be good. That should be enough to save the entire game. Really, it relies on the rest of the team really getting into their offensive stride. And a lot of these guys, Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, Jack's still not 100%, we understand, but there's a lot of these guys that really need to start to find that offensive touch again. I mean, Nico Heister's leading our team with 15 goals. It's not good.
Yeah. This team is inconsistent. I believe Markstrom's in net. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you're correct on that, yes.
I guess he wants to play against his old, former team, I guess. I don't know. But, with this Western road trip, it's first half of a back-to-back because tomorrow they'll be in Edmonton, play the Edmonton Oilers. So you would think, you would want to get this game under your belt. You want to get a victory here. But right now, I mean, I'm still not over what happened against the Carolina Hurricanes the last game. Losing 4-1. It's just, again, a miscue by Luke Hughes and then not getting back. And then Markstrom giving up that goal. It's 1-0 Carolina. And then just about a minute later, 2 minutes later, then they score again. And Markstrom should have had that one. Markstrom, again, at least for now, hopefully, the slow starts have kind of stopped, hopefully. But, again, the Devils, they have some scoring issues. And it's quite apparent. And 5-on-5 has been a major problem. Their penalty kill is not as lethal as what we thought it was, like it was in the beginning of the season. I'm a true believer that defense leads to a better offense. So there's still, there's still a lot of problems with this team. They got everybody back, in the lineup. There's really no excuses anymore.
No, there isn't. And I mean, even the excuses that they have of, like, Jack not being 100%, like, Jack is still producing. At least he's still getting the assists, since he's come back. I want to say 5 assists, if I'm correct about that, somewhere around that area. So, I mean, he's producing. He's not scoring goals like you would like him to score, but you could tell, like, on some of his shots that maybe it's not all the way there. Maybe the power, the accuracy is not all the way there yet. And,
the mustard isn't there. I can. That's what I've noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, the finish. Like, it's like when he a couple years ago when he had that broken shoulder and he was going in towards the end of the season, you just could tell that his finish wasn't there. He'd get that. He still has the skating ability, still be able to get that separation, still be able to get, like, pretty down far deep, and then you're just like, yep, he doesn't have that snap. And there's a huge difference. I mean, there's a huge difference in his game, and you could see, like, just when he has his finish, he's one of the best in the league. He can pick a corner. He can put it off the back of the goaltender's head at an impossible angle. He's got deadly accuracy, and when he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. At least he's smart, though. He's not taking that 8 billion shots a game and, not really having anything to show for it on the score sheet. But, yeah, and there's a lot of growing pains that are still going on with this team that you wish that we'd be over. The Luke Hughes thing that you were talking about before. I know everybody booed him in that game where he accidentally put 2 goals in against. But, I mean, if that's still bothering him, you got to get over it. If the whole, like, the thing that drives me absolutely nuts, and I've seen him do it, I've seen Jack do it, I've seen a lot of guys do it, is you make a mistake and you do the throw your head up to the ceiling, or you slam your stick and, like, slow, chase the. No, like, you make a mistake. The only thing a mistake is an opportunity to fix it. That's it. You messed up. Who cares? Just like you mess up, you grab the bull by the horns, you turn around, you go back, and you get the puck. Like, if you make a mistake, you don't sit there and you dwell on it. Like, it seems like that goes into the mentality that we were talking about the other night, about the fragile mentality of this team, where there's certain things that go on, and they just, oh, come on, gee whiz. It's like, no. You screw up, you make up for it.
Gee whiz.
You make a mistake. Yeah, God golly. No, you make a mistake and you fix it. You don't whine about it. You don't complain about it. You find a mistake. You fix the mistake. That's it. But that goes to that accountability, right? That goes to the coach, like, bringing you to the bench and reaming you out sometimes because you need to hear that. That's you sitting in a press box, even though you're a $9 million defenseman. I don't care how what your name is on the back of your jersey. You're going to go sit in the press box and watch about a dozen games because you can't get yourself right. There's a lot of that doesn't happen anymore that used to happen on a regular basis, and it didn't matter who you were on this team, you were going to be held accountable. And I mean, organizationally, that's something that this team has lacked for quite some time. We were okay with, this middling kind of existence and just underperformance and just the team being a bottom feeder. Management was okay with it, even though we're going to make major changes. And there's a lot of things that you and I have talked about that I don't disagree with anymore. Where it's like, you can only go so far before you start to see, like, hey, maybe they don't really care that much. Because if you did, you would have made a change to this GM or this coach a long time ago. There's too many flawed things in this team right now, and there's too much head scratching to figure out what it is. But hey, as we digress into our conversation last Sunday, let's move on, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the team had more of a short memory and let things go. And again, I've always said that body language is everything. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you see on the play, I don't want to single out just one player, but sometimes you see on a player make a mistake, and then they smash their stick or their head goes up, like, I just made a mistake. Instead of spending that second or second and a half doing that, you need to get back and help out your goalie, because if you turn over the puck in the neutral zone, like sometimes you see that and it's like, it's I don't know. It's just frustrating for me, just the amount of turnovers this team has.
Yeah, the lack of the amount of turnovers, but then like on top of the turnovers is just the lack of effort to make up for it, right?
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. I don't care if you make a mistake.
Mistakes are going to happen. They're going to happen.
I used to coach hockey, and like I tell my own kids this, I'm like, I don't care if you make a mistake. It's how you respond to it. A mistake really is just an opportunity to grow, right? And a mistake is just you're giving yourself a learning experience. And that mistake can be anything in life. It could be something small. It could be something big. And in a game, that mistake has to be a decision that you're going to make in a split second. You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have time to sit there and hang your head. You don't even have time to just sit there and go, God damn it, I can't believe it. You don't have time. The puck got taken away from you. You have to turn on a dime, and you have to go get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the things that need to be preached to this team sometimes. And listen, we're fans, right? What do we know? What do we know? We've never been on NHL ice. We've never skated against these kinds of caliber athletes. We've never been in these situations. But we have eyeballs. We can watch. We can see. We can see what's going on. There's a lot of things this is applicable to not just like to the game, but this is applicable to things in life.
Yeah.
And it's like this generation of just like, oh, I can't believe it. So sorry. So sad. It's like, no. Dude, buckle up. Go get it. Shut up. Nobody cares. That's the biggest one, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you fail. We'll all be miserable and we'd be pissed off. But after a couple of years, your name fades away unless you do something egregious. But the guys that we always remember, the guys with that extra grit, like a Pandolfo, like a Madden, Like the guys, the Randy McKays, the guys that never gave up on plays, that tried hard. Bobby Holik to a lesser extent when he was with us and not really with the Rangers, but Bobby Holik, right?
Oh, he cashed out.
He cashed out. He's a smart man. Smart man.
Made a lot of money. What was that contract again? $40 million, 5 years, $8 million.
It was a lot, and in a time that guys were not making that kind of money. What people don't understand is like that was a ridiculous contract for a guy of his ilk, and
it was
it was amazing.
Those Ranger fans thought he could be possibly a first line center too, because the Devils, they trapped all the time. So now that he's on our team, he's going to show them what he was the third line.
Yeah,
but he made his money though, so you got to admit.
Yeah, you know what? And you look around the NHL and you see teams, you see guys that have that grit, that have that determination. You look at even somebody like Connor McDavid, who's on an insane pace right now. Sorry, I have like the hiccups, and I'm trying to like work through it. But there's certain players, like even the makeup of certain teams, you see like there's no flaws, or at least like when you first look at them, you're like, oh, this team is completely flawless. Like the Florida Panthers the last couple of years, you could look at them and you could be like, man, that team top to bottom is just an amazing team, well built, flawless lineup. There's tons of flaws. There's tons of flaws. There's tons of mistakes. There's tons of moments where that team could have folded or imploded in on itself. But you know what happens is they have grit, they have determination, and they know how to rebound when things get hard.
All right.
Oh, so there we are.
Yeah, live looking at the Saddledome. Jacob Markstrom was the first out on the
Markey.
ice. Yep.
Markey was the first one on the ice.
Yeah. So
there's Luke. Oh boy, Luke. There's Markstrom spinning in a circle.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wish we could go to the Saddledome to go and experience before they rip it down and put up the new one, because I think the new one starts next year, if I'm not mistaken, for Calgary.
Did they ever get an arena deal? I lost track.
I thought they did.
I lost track. I lost track because after the fifth flood that they had, I thought they weren't getting one, I guess.
Well, all I know is the catwalk up on the top of the stadium is pretty amazing. I wonder, did they give Lenny his rookie lap tonight?
Right now it's warm-ups. I think that happens right before. Don't they get it before they get on, or is it during warm-ups?
I thought it's during warm-ups is when you get your rookie lap.
I don't know. I only got the feed. You know, I didn't see him do the lap, but we didn't get the feed in time. So
yeah, true. Well, I mean, it's kind of cool, man. But anyways, if you guys aren't aware of this, the catwalk to get to the press box. I know Amanda Stein just put up something on the Devils' Instagram or Twitter, and the catwalk goes basically straight over center ice to get into the press box, and it's supposedly a very unsettling walk. I like that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that top. What a cameraman we got there.
Well, little Sean. I met little Sean when he was 3 years old in the parking lot, and now he's a 27-year-old adult.
How time flies.
Yeah,
also,
I know.
That story sounds horribly bad when you say it out loud. I met a 3-year-old in a parking lot.
Well, his dad was there. He was a little kid. How many 3-year-olds with mouth off to Ranger fans? That's when we became friends.
I'm just kidding, man.
Rangers suck.
But anyways.
Anyway.
But yeah, listen, this is one of the games where you hope that they take advantage of a team that they're a little bit better than. I know that's hard to say because a lot of teams right now, who are the Devils actually better than their opponents? But they need to get through this stretch. They need to get through this stretch and get to the Olympic break. And I know Scotty is very apprehensive about the Olympic break, where he's kind of like, well, I don't know, like somebody's going to get hurt and this, that, and the other thing. And have you seen the ice out there? It's not good and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. I'm sure it will come together because the NHL is not stupid and they're not going to let their players go out and play on ice that they're going to get hurt on. So one of the things that I kind of look forward to is a majority. We do have a decent amount of guys that are going to represent their countries, and rightfully so. But there's going to be a good amount of people that are also going to get a good amount of rest that is well deserved as well. And hopefully this team can kind of have a mental reset. Whatever the issues that are going on, I think the back end of the season could be a really big momentum shift. And who knows what's going to happen, with Fitzgerald and that press conference that he gave the other day. He kind of alluded to the fact that there's some moves that he might be willing to make. He, outwardly said at one point that he is not afraid to move pieces to fix the team in the immediate future. So it could all be just him blowing smoke, as usual. But I will say this: I don't think he has the legs to be able to just sit still. I think he needs to do something. I think he needs to make a move. I was actually reading something today that was I don't know how you can make it work, and I'm not saying that I am saying this is a thing, because I know some people like to put our names on things and be like, "Oh, the Let's Go Devils podcast said this, and this," and I'm like, no. We were having a conversation. We were having conversation. So let me put it as plainly as I can. I was reading an article today that said Robertson and Hamilton, not one for one, because there would have to be other pieces to that, but essentially trading large contract for large contract. Not necessarily saying that it's something that I would want or think will happen. It's just something that's interesting. That Dallas could use some defensive help, but it's one of those things. It's going to keep creeping around until something happens to Dougie. But if there's nothing that happens between now and a trade deadline, I don't know how you could, and the team just continues to flounder around until the end of the year. I don't know how you can retain the general manager, to say the least.
All right, let's get your predictions in the YouTube Live and Instagram Live and all over the place. We want your predictions for this game. I
see Dag Hansen says 4-1, New Jersey. Says Rook with the first point, and I'm not going to say that part. All right, keep going.
You know what? I guess my comments aren't working. I don't see any. Oh, now they're coming.
Yeah, now they're here. So Roman says 4-2 Devils, baby. He says we're the best. Maddie says 4-2 Flames.
Yeah, a lot of these fans are doing reverse psychology.
5-1 Flames.
Yeah.
Selected Boy says 4-3 Devils. Brian says 3-1 Flames. A lot of Flames. Good God. Michael says 4-1 Devils, or 5-1. He's not really sure. Eddie says 3-2 Devils. Our buddy Tom says 5-3 Devils. Marky will give up 3. He usually does give up 3. Always something says 3-1 Devils. I don't know why. You know what? That's I like the end part of that. I don't know why. I don't know why either.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm still a fan,
Yeah, Pete says 2-0 Devils. B now says 3-0 Devils. Surf says 3-2 Devils. And change that to Flames. Sorry about that. Nick says 5-2 Flames. Devils haven't says 3-1 Devils. Open netter. Oh, all right. So we got Sharon Govich will definitely score. So will Blake and Ball. That right there is very true, because that usually happens. Usually happens. Oh, Coleman's out hurt, so no, you can't do that. Well, maybe he'll come out and they'll be like, "Here's Blake Coleman." He's got like that vintage fall down on his back goal that he had against the Winnipeg Jets. I was at that game. That was amazing. We were up 4-0, and then we blew that game. I still don't understand that one. Too many ex-Devils. Yeah, this team is definitely filled with ex-Devils. Also, a possibility that this could be a return home for Dougie Hamilton as well. There was a rumor that on his list of teams that he might be willing to go back to is his old home of the Calgary Flames as well. So, a lot to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
A lot of ex-Devils, a lot of potential. Paul Cotter doing a little spin move as he
lost the puck.
As he loses the puck. It's like real life.
Yeah. There's Jack.
Even out there, do they look motivated and pumped? Do they look excited?
They look like a bunch of guys are ready to collect the paycheck today.
So, with that, what is your prediction?
No, I go last. I need your prediction.
Oh, that's right. That's right. My prediction, I'm gonna go 3-1 Devils to get an empty netter to seal the deal.
With the amount of ex-Devils.
Wait. You know what? I'm sorry.
And Markey and Net. You want to change that? Yeah,
with Markey and Net, I'm changing it. I'm going to say 5-3 Devils. I'll say 5-3 Devils.
Execution says 4-1 Flames.
Hey, Brandon Dillon.
Did he tap the glass or something, or he just skated by?
He skated up to the glass and then threw a puck over, it looks like.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, 4-1 Flames says, execution.
Ball actually play really well. So, with the amount of ex-Devils, I think Kevin Ball is gonna ram a couple of guys.
The wrecking ball.
I'm with Markstrom and Ned. I'm gonna say 7-2 Flames.
I almost accidentally spit out my water on that one.
7-2 Flames.
Good Lord. You know what's scary is that's not even like that's that far out of
Gritzy. Very nice.
Look at that.
Little Sean. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome.
I wonder you should have made a sign that said I'm live streaming this. Although that might get you kicked out.
Yeah, they'll get.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
What are the chances of that? Look
wow.
at that. You see that, you guys? You see what you can become? You can become a reporter on the scene.
Yeah, just let us know if you're going to be watching players warm-ups. We could do a live look in anywhere, really.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Awesome. That's the first time that's ever happened on the Let's Go Devils podcast Game Day Live. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
All right,
nice.
maybe that's a turning point, boys.
Yeah.
That's a turning point of this whole season right there.
Yep.
That's it. Gritzy throwing over that puck. That was it.
I'll change my score now. It's going to be 7-2 Devils. And Markstrom had some great saves. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well,
let's
hope for a good game. Let's hope for a good game. Let's hope everyone has fun, right?
Well, I'll like you, I'm going to have both the national championship game on and this game at the same time. So it should be 100%. Interesting. Should be very, very screen. Interesting. Yeah. That's the only way to do it, right? So
100%.
But I want to thank all those tuning in. I also want to thank, he's no longer little Sean. Sean out there getting us the game footage. Or not game footage.
Thank you,
Sean. The live look-in during warm-ups. Is also going to be back at it with the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. But we'll have Devils After Dark after the game. Scotty, Sirius XM, Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. Dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes. Also, remember, the Morning Woo tomorrow. As we'll talk more about this team. Will they have a lot of fight in them? We shall see.
Ooh, goalie fight. There was a goalie fight tonight. Bobrovsky got in a goalie fight. Go on.
Oh, by the way, before we go, because we're running out of runway, did you see the PWHL, that fight that happened?
No.
They did a takeover in D.C., Capital One Arena. New York Sirens and Montreal, I don't know what they're called. I'll send you some of the video footage there. That was freaking awesome. That's the way to grow the game. I mean, they have more fight than the New Jersey Devils, the New York Sirens, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But anyway, We'll be back after the game. Till next time, let's go Devils.